Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Craft House Magic podcast. This time I thought I'd do a little vlog of doing a bit of DIY. Jensen has insisted on being in the video because he always wants to be sat on mummy or cuddling mummy, so he's helping us today. I'm going to do a bit of DIY. We're putting a couple of shelves up and maybe a picture of one of my cross-stitch pictures, so I thought we'd give you a few tips on how to do it because I don't really know what I'm doing, so Adam's going to be doing it. Hopefully it'll give me some nice tips so I can learn how to do it better. Let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so here is where we're going to put the shelves. These are Mosslanda shelves. They're like picture frame shelves. I bought 2 of them. They're about £4 each from Ikea, and I thought that I could squeeze in a little bit more storage up at the top here. So I've worked out that I could get 2 of those shelves across here, and then I can put jars of all my little bits and bobs. I'm going to show you some of the jars that I've been collecting from eating lots of jam. Are you excited, Jensen? So Adam, how are you going to do this?
Well, you know, first thing you got to say is, if you're going to do this yourself, you want to make sure that there's nothing behind the wall where you're going to be putting holes. Ours are plasterboard, so it's hollow, so I'm going to use some plasterboard fixings, which are around here somewhere, so basically it involves in putting a hole through the wall, screwing a plasterboard fixing in, and then fixing the shelf to that. But if you've never done it before or you're unsure, make sure you get someone who is a professional.
And not Adam. Yeah.
So first of all, you want to do is work out where you want them. So where do you want them, Ellie?
That's it, resting on the top of the... I want them rested on the top of this bit here.
Right, okay.
You can see here where I tried to stick a pin cushion, or like a magnetic pin cushion to the wall, and then Jensen decided to pull it off, which was lovely.
Right. Okay, so if we start this side, and then we can do them as far as we can, is that the plan?
We'll put one that side and I'll hold this one. How far does it go? I think I'd rather have it sort of in the middle if we can. So about there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
okay, so we use a level, so it's sort of level.
yeah, we don't want things falling off. What I want to be storing is actually shop stock of where I've got like needle stoppers and things, so that they're easy to access, and they're quite pretty to look at.
There we go. Could you pass me the yellow handled screwdriver, the little one? Thank you.
There you go.
Do a mark in the wall, just through the plaster a bit. And you can see there's 2 little marks, and we'll make that one's on a hollow section, that one's not, so it's probably on some adhesive or something that the board's stuck to. So I'll just check with my little handy dandy meter to see if there's anything behind there before I drill, and then we'll make loads of mess. Right, well that looks as if it's clear.
Yeah.
Because it is in the adhesive there, it's going to make it, whoops, the fixings I've got, it's better if we move it over a little bit. So I'm sorry, Ellie, it's not going to be in the middle.
Okay, all right then. As long as it's on the wall, I don't care.
So I'm just going to make the hole bigger rather than using a drill. There we go, you can see it's just hollow behind.
You just used a screwdriver there, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just gone in. That's what screwdrivers are for, isn't it?
See, I don't think I could do that with my weak and feeble arms.
There we go. So that's the gap we've got behind, which is plenty of room for some screws. I'll just make the holes a bit bigger, and then we'll fix them on. Right, I'm just checking how deep they are. They should be all right. I might have to just trim the end off. So
what do you mean you trim the end off what?
Off the end of this. I don't really need it because we're going to drill a hole as big as this width. So it isn't going to need to actually drill itself in, because that's going to make a little bit of a mess of the plasterboard if you do it that way, I found. So I tend to just drill a hole in, maybe trim the very tip of this off so it goes in as far as it can, and then we'll just screw it in with a screwdriver, and you can then put your fixings, your screws into this.
All right. What do you think, Jensen?
You're going to help me, are you?
Come on then. Don't touch the drill, that's for Daddy.
Okay, so we need to have a look at the screws, don't we, Jensen? Which one do you think we do? We do a 5mm? Let's do a 5mm, shall we? Let's do a 5mm, that'll do. Yeah, it goes into this. This is the drill. Use our friendly vacuum cleaner while we do it. Right, so I've trimmed this one off. So we basically trim the end off with the snippers. Make sure they don't go in anyone's eyes. So we aren't going to need that bit. And then I'll make sure it goes in far enough into the wall. So then we then just get a screwdriver into the hole we've made. And then these fixings just screw in. Nice and firm. Do the same with this one. 2 in, and then we've just got to get some screws, which this set needs to be yeah, that one there. They need to be countersunk screws so the heads don't protrude too far. So they may be okay. They maybe need to be a bit bigger. Let's have a look.
That's to go in the wall, Jensen.
I'll just go and have a look and see if I've got some bigger screws.
So you found some screws?
I have. So put them through the holes and we're going to line them up.
Normally I'd give you a hand, but I'm very busy filming.
Yeah.
Do you need me to hold it?
No, we line it up. We use the screwdriver.
Yeah, that's it.
Make sure it's flush to the wall. You want to tighten it, but not to over tighten.
Lovely.
That should hold it.
There are some stickers to stick over the screws. I'm going to put those over the screws. Hopefully it's not going to fall off.
Bit of luck.
There we are, and it just covers the screw up, which is quite good. That's made me notice that we need to paint
We do.
this bar underneath that's holding up the unit above here.
We do.
Adam's put some little strip LED lights underneath so that it gives me a little bit more light, which is ideal. And we just got to do this second one.
Same again.
Yeah,
Sit still, Jensen.
I'm not going to film this next bit because it's a bit boring showing you the same thing. So
Same again.
Same again. We have 2 shelves up. Thank you very much, Adam.
It's okay. They're sort of straight, so that'll do.
I think that obviously because they're quite cheap shelves, this little bit, this one is slightly lower than the other, but it is flush at the top. So I think that they're not exactly the same, the actual shelves themselves, but I think when there's something on that, it'll bow down a bit further, but I'm really not bothered.
Blame the shelves, not the
Yeah,
fitter.
they're the shelves, not the fitter. So I need to clean up and get my jars set up and put everything back. So I've got everything back to how it was, but I think I'm going to move this that I had on the other bar onto here so that I can move that sewing machine. So I need to reorganise these a little bit. And this is a bit dusty, so I need to give that a bit of a wipe. So I've got a load of these jam jars. So these jars are from Bon Maman raspberry conserve, or different. My favourites are raspberry or blackcurrant. So I've been collecting these for quite a while, as you can see. I have got some of them where I've actually managed to get the labels off, but there are a few which I haven't yet, so I'll have to sort that out. But I thought that these would be really nice all the way across here. I don't know whether I'm going to keep the lids just yet, but I did pick this brand of jam just because they had pretty lids on rather than just a plain black. I thought I'd use these to store little bits and bobs. I think we might have more than we need. There we go. Yeah, so all the ones actually, all the ones without the labels fit in nicely, and I do have a few extra. Jensen wants to put the little tiny jar up there, so we'll put that on the end. There you go, and that matches too. That's one of the same jams as well, which is quite sweet. Oh, we're going to put in that little one. lids on for now, just because it'll keep the dust off. I'm thinking maybe I could crochet little covers for them to pretty them up a bit, or I could put some ribbons on later. But I'm going to leave them how they are for now. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we could have them like that. Should we try it? Look at that. So Jensen's idea to turn them upside down, I think it works nicer because the light goes through the top of the jar and keeps the dust off them. So that's my idea at the moment. Watch this space if I can think of any ideas to modify it to make it look pretty. On to the next job for today. Come on, get your screwdriver out, Adam. So the next job is to put this picture up. Adam's just measuring it. This one is a cross stitch of mine, so I will show you what it looks like in a minute. But I had it professionally framed. It's got a nice oak frame, and Jensen's telling you where it's going to go. It's going to go up there. Adam has already started. He's just kicked a jar full of beads over on the floor. Adam's already started marking the wall, and he needs to basically do the same thing as he did with the shells, really, just making sure that he's putting it in the right place. He's drawn pencil marks on the wall this time, haven't you, Adam?
Yep.
Of where you've got to put the attachments, and he's just measuring the distance between the 2 points he's marked to make sure that he's cutting the holes in the right place. I've got his little glamorous assistant playing with some beads and jars on the floor. Oh dear. Yes, it's going up there. So actually you can see the picture now. So I finished this a few years ago and it's still not up on the wall. As you can see, it says ERJC at the bottom, and then at the top here it says 2020. So 4 years ago I finished it. I actually only got it framed, didn't I, in after lockdown, so it must have been 2021 maybe, because you were really tiny in the pushchair, weren't you, Jensen? So Adam is going to drill a small hole first, aren't you?
I am.
With your hoover and your drill at the same time.
As I have been before. Try not to electrocute myself.
Small hole drilled.
Yeah, this one's going into a stud, so it's actually going into some wood. So I'm not going to drill a big hole this time. And hopefully when I screw this in, we did actually drill a hole before and found there was a stud, so I had to refill it, and yeah, so we'll just screw this into the stud. Same sort of depth as that one. And the fixing we've got are quite good. They're like a security concealed fixing.
So the stud just means it's a piece of wood, does it?
Yes, it's a piece of wood that the plasterboard in this case is nailed to.
So Adam, you're going to tell us a bit about these fixings?
Yep, so when you had it framed, they actually just put a wire on the back. So you'd usually put a fixing in the middle, like a screw or a nail, and then hang it. But not very secure, especially with it being quite heavy and Jensen running around. I can imagine it falling off. So I did a bit of research, had a look online, and I found these things called spring locks. So they're hidden security fixings for hanging pictures.
Not sponsored at all,
no,
it's just what he's found.
But that was from, what was it, picturehangers.co.uk, I think they were. So anyway, you put these on the back of the picture, measure the distance, and then you then fix them on the wall, and then the screws go in this gap here. So that's quite a secure way to start with. And then they have these spring locks at the bottom, where another screw goes in. This is a bit of a big screw. And then you push up these and it actually locks the screw in.
Oh wow, that's
so
cool.
The top ones can't come off because the bottom ones can't come off. And then to get it out, you use a special tool, reach behind the picture from the front like that. And then you then push it down, and then you can then take the picture off the wall.
Wow.
So that's the type we're using, and they give you this tool, which is the removal tool, and also it helps you to fit it. So you hang it on the wall with the top ones, and then you then mark the bottom ones with this little pointy tool here, so you know where to drill your second lot of holes, and then fix it in place. So
Brilliant.
We'll see how that part goes.
So Adam's putting it on the wall now. He's attached the two screws.
Yeah, so you align the holes.
You haven't done the 2 bottom screws
No, not
yet, so that's what you've got to do.
These go on, and you just centre it like that, and then you use their tool. So you pull it away, place it in the little hole. Just a bit fiddly. Did one of these.
Good
there.
face, Adam.
Thank you. There we go. And then push it, and that then marks that hole.
Oh, brilliant.
Do this one. It's been thought out quite well. That one. Push it. Yep, looks like it's marked. So we then take that down again.
Don't know if you can see the marks on camera. You probably will be able to see them. It's just I can't see them through the viewfinder very well.
There we go. I think that's one, is it there?
Yeah, I could see one there.
And one there.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So you've got to drill some more holes.
We have. So the 2 holes are there and there. So I'm just going to do the same as I did before, using my trusty screwdriver just to go through the wall. You can see that's hollow there. And I think this one will be a stud, because it's roughly in the same place. What I'll do is I'll just drill a small hole in there again, screw into the stud, same as I did before, and then we can then lock it in place.
Now Adam's got the screws in, I'm going to do the really important job of rubbing off the pencil marks. Even though we are actually going to be painting this wall at some point soon, because it really does need painting, I really don't want all these pencil marks showing too much, so I'm making a right mess on the floor with all this rubber. I don't know why I bother with behind the picture, because it's not even going to show, but you know, bits of pencil marks everywhere. It does need repainting. There we go, most of it's off, and we get to fixing the picture back on. Lots of other marks that need painting over though, but we're not going to look at that. We're going to pretend it's all nice and painted.
Right, we're going to put the picture up then, so hopefully this will fit. I haven't tried it yet. You go over there.
Is it difficult to get all 4 on at the same time?
Well, in theory they should just clip in now. So we just use the tool just to push the bits up. Click.
Ooh.
Click.
It's done!
Perhaps I could do with tightening the screws a bit more, but it's on the wall.
Well, it's not going to fall off, is it, with those 4 attachments?
So yeah, 4.
Brilliant! Thank you very much, Adam.
Alright, so you took how long?
Well, it's 4 years to actually frame it and everything all at the same time. I wanted to mention actually, this cross stitch I got from a charity shop years and years ago, but actually they did a rerun of it, so I have got the link where you can pick up the pattern and the kit to make this. I think they still have it available. I paid to have like a special non-reflective glass, but actually there is a small amount of reflection because of the sun coming through my craft room window. Adam's in there with Jensen. Jensen is tearing everything apart as usual. So this wall is just opposite my craft room. We've got another wall here that I've got a random picture of some buttons that I made years ago, but I was thinking that I might have a wall here, a design wall for quilting, and then actually add some lights up on this wall so that's facing on this wall, and then have this as a design wall. So that would be interesting. We'll get round to it at some point, won't we, Adam?
We will, maybe next time.
This wall's got a quilt that I made, well, wall hanging, which is like a Bargello thing that I did years ago, but I don't really like it. I think I'm going to change it. What do you think, Jensen? Downstairs, okay. So I've just been improving on the organisation, and I've changed a few little bits around. I've added a couple of extra jars at the end here with some bits and bobs that I use for sort of storage and packaging, and then these are all the needle stoppers that I've got. I've put 2 different ones in some of the jars just because they don't fill the jar up and it feels like a waste of storage, but I can easily tip them out into a basket and pick the ones I want, so I'm pleased about that. I've moved the sewing machine, which was here, all the way down there, which I'll probably use more. You can see the duster over there, but I'm really happy with that now. I think I'll keep titivating it and improving it as I go, but I think I could do with another strip of lights underneath this shelf now, to light up the worktop just a little bit more, because we've got a little bit of shadowing from this shelf. So I'll see if Adam will do that for me at the weekend maybe. So I've moved my sewing machine, which was here, over to there, which I think will be much more usable because this is the desk that I sit to sew at. So I'll be more likely to use the two machines sort of simultaneously. My overlock is still in the corner. I have moved my other cover stitch machine over to the back here, but I still need to clean it up and refinish it, and then I'll probably store it somewhere else so it's not going to sit there the whole time. I've got a couple of sets of yarns that I've dyed up for the mystery sock along by Stephen West, and I'm really excited to join in. So I've dyed up 2 sets that will be available in my shop tomorrow, and they'll be available only until the 19th of June, so I can get those shipped in plenty of time before the actual sock along starts. That's in the beginning of July. I think it might be the 6th or 7th or something, so it's got plenty of time to get to you. So the purples are inspired by the song Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, and the blues and pinks are inspired by the No Doubt song I'm Just a Girl. This one has got like turquoises, and we've got a nice bright pop of pink with different lighter shades to go together, and then we've got this set here which is a very dark purple with black speckles and then some purple contrasts. So those will be in the shop tomorrow, Friday at 7 PM GMT, available until the 19th of June. So I've got these minis over here that I wanted to sort out to make a cardigan. So I've picked out the pattern, the Ariana cardigan, and this is by Amy Christophers, and it is a gorgeous pattern. It is actually free. It's a combination of crochet with a knitted edge on, which I think is lovely. So there's a couple of people that have already done this on Ravelry that say that they've actually used fingering weight instead of the Aran weight yarn that the pattern calls for. So I'm going to use fingering weight yarn, and I have my basket of all the pinks. So I'm going to have a bit of a sort out this afternoon and choose which are the ones I'm going to include and which are the ones I'm going to omit from this basket. But the basic colour is going to be sort of a muted pink, so that will be sort of the main colour. I think I've got a couple of skeins of that or something very similar, so I'll combine those to make a sort of pink cardigan. I think maybe I'll do a pink trim for the cuffs and the bottom of the band as well, but I shall see. I thought I'd show you what I'm up to next in my sort of crochet and knitting projects. So one of the things that I find a bit annoying to store are these washers that I use for holding my sewing pattern down when I'm cutting them out with a rotary cutter. I normally leave them on the surface in the corner, but I end up knocking them off the edge of the table. So I thought that I'd actually use a pencil to put through them, and I'll put them up on here between 2 hooks. I'll show you what I mean. So there we are, I've threaded them onto the pencil and I've got them on 2 S-hooks on here. What I am going to do actually is I'm going to get Adam to cut me a little bit of dowel the same thickness as this pencil, so it isn't just a pencil on here, but that keeps them nice and tidy and off the surface. So thank you so much for watching the vlog. I will be back next week with a crafty podcast, so I'll see you then. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost anything, so click on subscribe and you'll see when I get a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you. Bye.